Good morning and welcome to the Lemonade Mindset. I am your host, Rebecca L. Pierce, and the show is brought to you today by RLP Productions, producers for this here podcast, the Lemonade Mindset. It is Monday, January the 6th, 2020. Woo! We made it into another year, start of a new decade, and we are so excited to be a part of your journey into this new, brilliant, dynamic, phenomenal year that is upon us. And so we hope you had a fantastic holiday, a fantastic end to your 2019, and that as we are now into the 6th day of the new year, that you are clear and are focused on your intentions for 2020. And with that in mind, we want to talk about our topic for today, which is, and we are so excited for this week, our topic is creating possibilities. You know, many people believe in creating resolutions for each new year, but we want to do something here, something different here at RLP Productions with the Lemonade Mindset. We're not about resolutions because unfortunately they don't last. We get caught up and distracted by things that, happen, and we lose focus on those resolutions. What we really want to focus on is how to, again, change your thoughts to change your life. And one of those things about changing your thoughts is this idea of living and thriving in the mindset of possibilities. You know, there's this thought, idea, expression I have used often that came to me many years ago, and I probably heard it somewhere. But of course I can't remember because I'm old. No, I'm kidding. But the expression is that man's impossibles are God's possibles. Again, man's impossibles are God's possibles. One of the great gifts that we are given is the ability to dream. The ability to dream. And what dreaming does is open up the doors for possibilities. So how do we then take those dreams and create possibilities? And that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. And so I'm going to give you a few action steps, a few things to look at that will help you see and or put into place the action steps to create possibilities for 2020. Okay, possibilities for 2020. The first thing I want you to focus on or understand is that to create possibilities, you definitely need to have a measure of faith. And we've talked about this before about putting, feet to your faith. And what that means is you really have to put in the work. And so to make something possible, you have to believe that it is doable. And so that means you have to put that prayer into the universe and say, the universe, divine universe, here's what I would like. Here's what I want to do. And of course, it must be aligned with your gifts, with who you are, with your purpose in life, because possibilities are things that stem from or come from gifts, the gifts that you have. So, for example, if you're good at baking cookies, and everyone tells you your cookies are the best they've ever had, and you should really, launch a cookie company, don't go to the universe and say, I want to launch a major television network when that has nothing necessarily to do with this gift of baking cookies. I hope that sounds, you kind of get the drift of what I'm saying with that analogy. But your faith is dependent upon your ability to put action into place. And they all must be in alignment with who you are and what your purpose to do. So number one is your faith. Number two, you've got to get out there and work the faith. That means you need to network. You need to go to events that are, again, you've researched them, you've looked into them, you know who's going to be there for the most part. What is the purpose of this networking event? It must be, again, in line with what you're trying to do. But, plan and budget these events. Go to these networking events, And, be there to learn, to listen, but always have an objective. I want to meet two people who are in this industry or who I feel like I can be of service to. Networking is all about working the net. It's about building relationships and opportunities. And again, possibilities come from opportunities. So go to these networking events, talk to people. And then 3, make sure that when you've networked and or you are working your net, you are creating content and opportunities for other people. Creating content and opportunities for other people. One of the things we do here at the Lemonade Mindset, we not only have this podcast, but we also have the newsletter. We also have the magazine. And what these other components are opportunities for people to improve their lives, to step out on faith, to really connect with others. And so even though when we go to networking events, we're looking for people to partner with, we're also there to be of service to other people. So we want to create opportunities for other people. Okay, so number 1, faith. Number 2, networking. And number 3, creating opportunities for other people. The 4th and final thing that you want to have when creating possibilities is, you've got to have a presence in social media. That is absolutely one of the first and foremost things you need to have is a social media presence. And I know many people are hesitant to be on social media because there's a lot of very negative stuff that's out there. But really, it is about keeping your focus, about knowing what you're there for and not being distracted by the negative presence and stories and self-grandizing opportunities that people are putting out there. It really is about staying focused on what your brand is, what you're trying to do, and where you're trying to go. So, for example, if you're an author, your audience cannot find you if you're not on social media. So it is very important that even though you may not know how to navigate it, it's important to create a team. There we go. Create a team of persons who do know how to navigate that world, and they can teach you as they are working it for you and guide you through that process. It's very important to be present. And that is probably the 5th and final key takeaway. Yes, you be on social media, but more than anything, number 5 is to be present. And that's present on social media, present at the networking events, present in being able to create opportunities, but also being present in your faith. So that means you have to be here. You have to be visible, and you have to be creating content so that possibilities open up for you. You see what I'm saying? Sitting at home and dreaming in front of the television does not create opportunities and possibilities. Getting out here, putting your feet to your faith, and creating a team and talking to people is what creates possibilities. In our current newsletter that we've put out today, we have an article in there called She's Using the Good China. And that article is focusing on how sometimes, when we can get so tight and so wound up about when we can use and or release things of value to us, right? So in the article, we use China as an analogy for gifts and good things that we have. We want to hold on to things. But the truth of the matter is that there's always something to be grateful for. And there is always an opportunity to use the good China. Sometimes you got to create those opportunities. Don't let it sit in your cabinet, sit in your computer, sit in your head, and only bring it out when you think this might be an opportunity. Again, part of the process of creating change, creating the life you want, is to create opportunities. And so sometimes you need to break out the good China, even in a moment when it doesn't seem like the good China is necessary. I hope you guys read that article. It's a really interesting spin on, again, using, your gifts and really living in the present moment. That's what it's all about, living in the present moment. So again, man's impossibles are God's possibles. If you step out on faith, go out there and put some feet on your faith, work that prayer, go to these networking events, find again the best ones for you. Go there with the objective and goals in mind. Who do I want to meet? Who do I want to be of service to? And even more importantly, I'll give you this little quick tip. Keep your ears open. You just never know what people might need, that you can step in and really, be an integral part of that process and really help someone, move to the next level. So networking opportunities, create opportunities for others through your products and services. You just never know who needs what you have. And then, of course, you need to be on social media in some form or fashion, but be very selective, be very intentional with what you put out and with what you read. And then, of course, finally, use the good china. Get out there and use your gifts where you can. Don't hold on to the good things in your life thinking that you can only bring them out at certain for certain events or for certain opportunities. You just never know when you step out there. Okay, I hope that this podcast today on creating possibilities, I hope it sent off, lit the light bulb a little bit in you. Because again, every Monday when we share our podcast, this is all about helping you to change your thoughts, to change your life, to create the life that you envision for yourself. And again, much of that requires you to not only have a measure of faith, but to walk in your faith and to think outside the box, build that networking team to help you go to the next level. And on those days when you just feel like you can't do it, you don't know how to do it, that is when you've got to rely on that faith, and you've got to change the recordings in your head that tell you you're not good enough. You have to replace them with new recordings. In 2020, let's create new recordings. Anything is possible if you just put in the work and you stay consistent in creating the content, creating the work. Keep that sense of humor, connect with great people, and just love living in the present moment. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Again, this is the Lemonade Mindset brought to you by RLP Productions. Follow us on social media. We are on Twitter at Productions RLP or Rebecca Pierce. We're on LinkedIn at Rebecca Pierce. We are on Facebook at Productions RLP or Rebecca Lynn Pierce. We are also on Instagram at Rebecca Lynn Pierce. And of course, you can always go to our website, rlpproductions.com. We have great news coming up about our current events in 2020, what we are unleashing into the universe. We are creating possibilities in 2020, and we hope that you will join us. So again, go to rlpproductions.com to check out what's coming up with our company. Subscribe to our newsletter and our magazine. And of course, we're always looking for great content. So if you have something you want to share, hey, here again is your opportunity to create possibilities for your life. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. We will see you next Monday. Happy New Year. God bless. Have a great day.